right, thank you for tuning in to TTV. I'm your host, Toya, and today is Wisdom Wednesday, which means we are going to continue our journey with the Tao Te Ching. And we're on verse number 2. Held up 3, but it's 2. Verse number 2. And verse number 2 is relativity, which means the absence of standards of absolute and universal laws. So to me, what that means that we're going to be discussing is the release of those standards. So let's get into it. So the first, I'm just going to read through all of it, and then I'll break down my opinion of each verse. I haven't pre-read this, so we're going at this together, okay, guys? So we know beauty because there is ugly. We know good because there is evil. Being and not being, having and not having, create each other. Difficult and easy, long and short, high and low, define each other, just as before and after follow each other. The dialect of sound gives voice to music, always transforming, is from was, as the ancestors of to be. The wise teach without telling, allow without commanding, have without possessing, care without claiming. In this way, we harvest eternal importance because we never announce it. So, again, I'm going to start with the first verse, which says, we know beauty because there is ugly. We know good because there is evil. Being and not being, having and not having, because they create each other. So to me, what that means is you can't have ugly. You wouldn't know ugly unless you knew what beauty was. You couldn't know what good is unless you knew what evil was. So they're two sides of the same straw. So they create each other. Because you know what one is, then you know what the other. Kind of like what they say, if you know what you want, then you know what you don't want. So it's the same thing as creating each other, because you can't have one without the other. Because to have one means you created the other. Because now you have the standard of what you're looking at and how things are presented to you. You have the standard. The second part is difficult and easy, long and short, high and low, define each other, just as before and after follow each other. So difficult and easy, they do define each other, because we know what easy is, we know what difficult is, and everything in between. So it is a defined idea. We get that concept of it. We know the concept of easy. We know the concept of difficult. Long and short, same thing. So these define each other, because if we didn't have short as an example, then we wouldn't know what the long is, and we wouldn't be able to describe that. And then before follows after all the time. So again, that just goes back into these standards that we have, that we compartmentalize things around us so that we have some kind of description to it. And it gives us a base point to look at other things in the world. So I might see one painting and think it's ugly, see another one think it's beautiful, and then see one that's somewhere in between. And I can know it's somewhere in between because I know what I find ugly and I know what I find beautiful. So that's what I get from that so far. The dialect of sound gives voice to music, always transforming, is from was, as the ancestors of to be. So is our presence, was our future, and our was our past. I'm sorry. So is our present, was our past, and both of those are the ancestors of what's to come in the future. So that's what that means to me. And it just gives way to that. That's just how time works. The wise teach without telling, allow without commanding, have without possessing, care without claiming. So this is something I've actually heard people talk about before in a lot of the self-care, self-help, spiritual guiding videos I've watched, from like Bob Proctor to Stuart Wilde to Wayne Dyer to Abraham and what's her name, Teal something, and then what's his name, Water, I'm trying to get it, Divine Waters, something like that. But those people, somewhere along the lines in all of that, I've heard this before, because to teach without telling means that you help your student find their way. To allow without commanding means that you speak to them in a way to where they understand what it is that they need to do without you actually telling them. To have without possessing, well, we have things all over. It's when they become possessions to us that we actually put more into, and we put our energy in it. everything that you own, and this is something I believe Stuart Wilde said, but basically everything that you own is borrowed. It doesn't matter if you paid money for it or not, it's borrowed, because guess what? You can't take it with you when you go. So they're just things that we have. And it's when they become possessions that we end up with those fears of losing them, or fears that something will happen to it, or fears that we won't be able to continue using. All of that starts to arise. So as long as we keep in mind that these are just things, that we don't take them with us. Like, yeah, we might like them and enjoy them, but they don't define who we are. They are not our possessions. They're just things that are in our environment, things that we do possess, but they're not our possessions. To care without claiming. You can care about people without actually claiming them. You know, like I care about you. I might not even know you, but I care about you. And the fact that you're watching this video and the fact that you exist, I care. That means something to me. And I love you for it. Okay. So I can care without claiming you. I'm not claiming you. Oh, this is my viewer. This is my subscriber. This is my. No, you are another human being just like I am. And I care about you. That's as simple as put. In this way, we harvest eternal importance because we never announce it. So this way, to me, that means that we hold it inside internally. And it's something that we take with us. So I can take how I care about somebody with me. I can take my experiences with me. I can take those ideals with me. You know, that's something that can continue with me. And it's something that I don't have to go around and saying like, hey, y'all, I wrote this book and the experience of writing this book is going with me when I die. Yee! I don't have to announce that. I don't need to. I don't need to announce my titles. Even being on here on YouTube, I don't need to announce those titles because it just is. It just is without me saying anything. You know, and it's a lot of things like that in your own life. Like you don't have to announce, oh, I'm a mother, oh, I'm a wife, oh, the way you carry yourself, the way you present yourself is going to show that. Just like those people who sit back, oh, I'm a man, or I'm a woman. Okay, if you were a man or if you were a woman, bless you, Sadie, because she right up under me like always. But if you were a man or you were a woman, you don't have to define that. You don't have to sit there and broadcast it. Soon as somebody sees you, they already know. Because if you actually have to say it, chances are you're not it. Whatever it is you're trying to say, you're not it. Or you feel like there's some lacking in that title or in that position, which is why you have to broadcast it and put it out there and say what you are, because you feel like some way that you're lacking. Oh, I'm a mother, I'm the best mom, well, somewhere along the lines you feel incompetent. Somewhere along them lines you feel like you're not doing such a good job. And that's why you have to broadcast it and broadcast what you do for your children and broadcast, because you're looking for somebody to say that, yo, you're doing a great job. And you're not going to always get those accolades. So this was the message for today, which I love it. That was my interpretation of it. I would love to hear what you think about this. Like, which one was your favorite verse? Which one got to you? Which one resonated with you? So I would love that information in the comments below. Like I said, I like the Tao Te Ching. I don't remember where I stopped at, but I do think I read that one before. But it's still great wisdom to have. So that was Wisdom Wednesday. I love you guys. I hope you got something out of this, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.